On the eve of the One Day Cup final, we're very pleased to be joined by New South Wales captain Kurtis Patterson. Kurtis, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So it's unfortunate, of course, that Jack Edwards is not going to be out there with a hamstring injury, but the exciting part is that you get to captain your state in a One Day Cup final. That must be exciting.
Yeah, bang on. It's always a pleasure to captain this group, and you always want to play in big games and play in finals. So, yeah, nice to be captaining, and nice to be down here in Tassie playing for a title.
Chatting off air just before, there's obviously the little bit of threat of rain around in Hobart. If the match was reduced to a 20-25 over affair, do you think that works in the team's favour? Do you think you have the firepower to dominate in a short game?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some really solid white ball players. So, you know, you want to play a full 50 over game. We've played some really good 50 over cricket over the last couple of years. So, hopefully the rain stays away. But you know, one thing I think we do really well in this team is we adapt well. We've got some really solid T20 players who have played in some big games. So we'll go with what we're given tomorrow and give it a red hot crack.
Your 50 over form at the moment, Kurtis, is extraordinary. You've scored 229 runs since the last time you got out in this competition. What have you put your strong form down to in this format?
It's a good question. I think starting the tournament off with runs always helps. You know, you're not chasing your tail if you can get off to a good start and you can kind of relax and just get into your work. So I think that helped starting with that, and I think I've found a nice rhythm to my one day batting that I probably haven't had in the past, and always been somewhat consistent in getting starts, but never really gone on and scored big hundreds. So it's been nice to rectify that in a way this year and score some hundreds. So be nice to get one more tomorrow night and put the team in a good position. But I don't think there's one big answer. I think feeling relaxed, being still, and having just general confidence in my game has helped the season.
And just casting your mind back to the final game of the pools in this competition, obviously the Blues needed to chase that target within 40 overs, and I mean, you were a big part in that, but what was the discussions like during the innings break, and what was the approach the team took into that run chase? Because it was a pretty unique situation, and you guys nailed it.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Answer to your question, it was quite frantic at the break. We had analysts back in Sydney figuring out the net run rate type, and everyone throwing out their opinion before we actually knew what the number was. And eventually, before the openers went out, we got it down to 40 overs. So we touched on it after the game, actually, around, you know, how can we, as a group and as individuals, get that clarity with the bat or ball in hand, you know, without needing a target on a certain amount of overs. So we knew we had to maximise the power play. We knew that was going to be our best chance to win the game. And yeah, we went out there and executed, which is always the most important thing. So we chatted about it. I think there were some really good ideas shared after that last game. And yeah, we'll look to bring that clarity tomorrow.
You made your way into the One Day Cup final where you'll play Tasmania live on Fox Sports and KO, of course. One player that won't be out there is Adam Zampa. He's quite selflessly put himself aside to ensure Tanveer Sangha. A very selfless move from Adam, wasn't it, to ensure that young Tanveer Sangha will get a game, having played so well in this tournament so far?
Yeah, spot on. You know, there was obviously a few variables at play in that scenario, and yeah, it's hard when you're turning down Adam Zampa in a big game like a final. But I think I read an article this morning. I think our boss Greg Mail hit the nail on the head that there's always a balance with these things, and Tanveer's statistically been the best bowler in the competition this year, and yeah, I think the decision was probably right that it's just not quite a two leg spinners kind of ground in a day-night game here. I think potentially a day game changes that, but being a day-night game, that was a decision that was made. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Tanveer going out there and continuing his run that he's had all year.
And this is obviously going to be the second last game with coach Greg Shipperd in charge at the side. Is the fact that this could be a last hurrah for him, this is the chance to finish his tenure with the state on a high, some added motivation for the players?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think there's just an extra layer of motivation if you need it. You know, frankly, I don't think many guys will need it going into a final. And you know, we didn't play well in the previous Shield game. We've had an extra day of rest, so there's none of those excuses floating around. So Shippy's given his heart and soul to us for the last couple of years, so it'd be a really nice treat for all of us to send him off with a win.
Not just in one-day cricket in the last 2 years, Kurtis, but also in Shield cricket. You've been one of the best performed players in the entire competition. You've got the highest Shield score by anybody this year, 173 not out. What have you put your form down to the last 2 years? It really seems like batting has clicked for you in a way that it wasn't the few years prior.
Yeah, I mean, look, the line in the sand was drawn for me when I was dropped, and I said it at the time, but I needed that. I needed that line to be drawn, and sometimes it's really hard to do it when you're constantly trying to figure things out and kind of grind through Shield cricket. It's not the place to figure areas of your game out that need to be figured out. You need to step away, and for me, it was play some club cricket, get back into the rhythm of scoring hundreds with my club side, and just as simple as it sounds, just figure out the things that I was doing poorly, and there was a few little bad habits that had crept into my game, and was able to rectify those, and felt like I came back with a clean head, a bit of a clean slate, and some newfound confidence in my game. So it's been nice to get some runs. I would have liked a few more, particularly in this Shield season, but I think that's the game. You're never satisfied as a batter in this sport, but yeah, it's been really pleasing personally to have the performances that I guess I've had over the last couple of seasons.
You said ahead of your 100th Sheffield Shield game recently that while you're proud of everything you've achieved, a few more test matches would have been nice. How strong is that motivation to put yourself back in contention, especially with potentially maybe a couple of spots opening up in the top of the Australian order ahead of next summer?
Yeah, the motivation's it's there. That was, I guess, part of that process, whatever it was, 18 months ago, when I had some time to think through, why I was playing and what my motivations were, and doing everything I can to get back in that Australian side was a big one. So, look, I think it's an exciting time for any first-class batters out there at the moment. There's a lot of Test cricket coming up over this next 18 months. Obviously, Usman's retired, so there's a spot there, and like always, I think it's scoring runs at the right time, and scoring runs, this back end of the season when there's finals on, and the business end of the season is always a good thing to be doing. So the motivation's there. It's strong, but it is in the background. While we're here with New South Wales, there's no point in thinking about that other stuff until it actually comes up. So both me and the team, we're really excited to get out there tomorrow night.
Your two test matches were all the way back in 2019, so it's quite a long time ago. Do you feel like you're better placed now if you were to get that opportunity at national level to be able to perform, even though you performed pretty strongly in your two tests?
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing my best cricket that I've played at the moment. There's no doubt about that. I will say, back when I was selected, that was in one of those rare purple patches you get in your career when, I think I was coming off 400s in the previous month. So I was certainly picked at the right time, and it was nice to get that Test 100 under my belt early on. But I'm more mature. I've got a more complete game now. So and I've got the confidence that I guess I've done it in the past when I was selected. So got to put runs on the board. I've got to score more red ball runs, that's for sure. And I'll be looking forward to taking that opportunity if it does come.
And no doubt there would have been a lot of disappointment in the Blues camp last week, failing to make that Sheffield Shield final. But is it a bit of a bittersweet feeling seeing a couple of your former teammates in Jason Sanger and Nathan McAndrew doing so well for their adopted state? It must be a bit of a weird feeling for yourself seeing them flourish in the Redback squad.
Yeah, it's not something I give that much thought to be honest. I mean, I guess McAndrew left a while ago, and he's a top 5 bowler in the country for me. He's incredibly consistent and has fantastic skills. And Jason's probably a different one. I'm a bit closer with Sang, and that period when I was dropped, he was out of the side too, and we spent a lot of time together, probably trying to achieve similar things in our games and trying to figure a few things out. And kudos to him. He's done it. He's figured it out. He's got back to that Australia A level and performed there too. And I mean, there was no doubt. I think even the powers that be, Cricket New South Wales, that saying had a lot of ability. He showed us at a young age. He just, for whatever reason, wasn't able to find it here in New South Wales. So really happy for him that he's having that success and he's playing his best cricket with South Australia at the moment.
He certainly is, and I think you are too as well, Kurtis. The One Day Cup final, New South Wales and Tasmania, live on Fox Sports and KO. Thanks so much for joining us, Kurtis. Good luck for that match and, of course, the rest of the season with New South Wales.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers.